Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about the new acquisition that might possibly happen with the Cleveland Cavaliers and getting Derrick Favors and what this means for this team. But before we get started, we are going to start with some trivia like we always do. So in the 2015-2016 season, when Derrick Favors averaged his most points per game, who was the leading scorer on that Utah Jazz team?
Gucci gang, oh,
That's it
yeah.
right there, T-Now.
Lil Pump, yeah. Gucci gang, oh, yeah.
Big head on the beat.
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Spread their racks on new chain. Yeah. My love do. Ooh,
Alright guys, so as we always start, we are going to start out with some facts, okay? So right now the Cleveland Cavaliers are 2-8 in their last 10 games. They are the third seed behind the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors, the very surprising Toronto Raptors in that Eastern Conference, I might add. But their low field goal percentage is really hurting them in this 10-game stretch. They're really trying to figure out their footing and figure out what lineups they want to put in. I know IT's coming back now, so they got a lot of people that they got to worry about getting back in the rotation. But LeBron is the only person in January that is averaging more than 14 points per game. That is huge for this Cavs team, considering Kevin Love and Isaiah Thomas, they aren't even averaging over that 14 points per game mark. I know IT just came back, but still, 14 points per game is not a lot for a team that is supposed to be one of the best three teams in the NBA. But let's get into all the trade deadline rumors and everything like that. So the trade deadline starts on February 8th. And this is about maybe like 3 weeks from now, in which teams are kind of starting to pick it up, ramp it up, try and figure out what they want to do with this team so they're ready for maybe the playoffs. Because most teams that make an acquisition right now are either giving up a player and tanking, trying to get that lottery pick, or they're trying to make the playoffs and contend for the title. So with the Cavaliers, they're trying to find a veteran big man presence, and we've been told that they're trying to make a trade before the deadline, for sure. At first, the Cavs tried to get that veteran big man DeAndre Jordan, who now apparently he wants to go to the Rockets, which is a very big problem for the Cavs and that whole Western Conference, because if he does go to the Rockets, that could pose a lot of problems. But in my opinion, I do not think that if he goes to the Rockets, that will change much, because they already have Clint Capella. And adding another person like DeAndre Jordan, which is basically kind of like that better Clint Capella type, really isn't going to help that team that much unless they're swapping out Clint Capella for DeAndre Jordan, which is ultimately going to switch out both of their minutes and them not being able to play much, because you're not going to have both of them on the floor at the same time. But other than that, the Cleveland Cavaliers are looking to make a trade for, like I said, that veteran big man, which the next name that comes up is Derrick Favors. He's averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist this year in 28 minutes for the Jazz. Not his best stats for his career, a little better when he was younger, but he was also getting more minutes when he was younger. So with the Cavaliers, it sounds like they might have to give up that Brooklyn pick and Tristan Thompson for Derrick Favors if they want to make this happen before the deadline. Now, in my opinion, I do not think that this Brooklyn pick is even worth getting worked up over if you're a Cavs fan. Because at best, right now you're looking at maybe a 5th pick, because the Nets are slowly dropping off, but they are still that 7th, 8th team, 8th best team in the NBA. So they're not going to get the best roll of the ball in the lottery. So that's the last thing you really have to worry about. And in addition to this, you got to think about what Favors can bring to the table that Tristan Thompson and some of the other players can't. Favors is a great defensive presence. He's 6'10", 265. He can block, but not only block, he can alter shots in the paint, which ultimately helps out that Cavs defensive efficiency, which is 3rd worst in the whole league. There are 23 points allowed in the paint, which that will hugely change if Derrick Favors is actually part of this lineup, and he's playing significant minutes, such as around that high 20s, and maybe around that 30 mark. And he's just a bigger and tougher body rolling to the hoop. If you've ever watched Derrick Favors play, he's probably one one of the best at just rolling straight to the hoop, and you don't have to worry about him popping out. LeBron doesn't have to think. He can either fake it to him and take it to the hoop himself, or he can throw that pocket pass or throw that lob to a bigger Derrick Favors instead of a Tristan Thompson, or worrying about a Kevin Love who can barely even jump, but obviously could shoot that jump shot. But like I said, I know Derrick Favors does not have a jump shot really that much. He does have a mid-range jumper every once in a while when he starts getting hot, but neither does Tristan Thompson, so get rid of that guy. And Kevin Love and Channing Frye, they can learn how to fit in with Derrick Favors, because Derrick Favors is a willing player who's willing to get his teammates involved, which is very important. And Derrick Favors, like I said, one of the biggest things he's doing, he can not just alter shots, but he can block shots. And when they need that 1 or 2 big blocks per game, Derrick Favors can step up and do it. He can even get 3 of them if you need them. And this is huge for this Cavs team, ranked 28th in block shots in the whole league. This will really help them as they try to make a deep playoff run, and as they try to get out of that tougher Eastern Conference this year with the Celtics. And the answer to that trivia question is Gordon Hayward. He actually averaged around 20 points a game. He's a very good player back then, kind of fresh out of Butler a little bit, but he was well developed, and he actually led that team to a 40-42 record and a 9th in that Western Conference. So right on that tipping edge of the playoffs, but not in it just yet. Alright guys, make sure you guys like this video, make sure you guys are subscribing, check out my other videos, comment below what your guys' thoughts are about this trade and what it means to the Cavs, and finally, do you think the Cavs should actually go after this trade? Other than that, you guys have a great day, watch some basketball tonight.
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Spread their racks on new chain. My love Duke. Ooh,